Hey guys, my name is Chimagazo and welcome to my channel. As always, it's such a delight to have you tune in once again this week. If you have recently joined the family, welcome. How about you leave me a hello in the comment section where I can personally meet you, and I must, guys, please understand me. I must sincerely apologize because the past couple of weeks for me have been extremely hectic, and I have literally had to overcommit and remember to just keep pushing to basically live up to any of my commitments and the things that I have to do on a daily basis. I have been going through the busiest time of my life, and so I found that things like getting back to comments in all my social media platforms has really been challenging. In fact, just the other day I put up a reel on Instagram and I had to disable comments because I feel so bad that people will be saying so many things and I'm unable to respond to every one of you. So guys, if I just come by and leave a heart, please know that I acknowledge you, I appreciate you, I see you, and I love you. Why am I saying this? I was saying because, as I would usually say, if you are recently new, please kindly leave a hello where I can formally meet you and welcome you personally. I do hope that I will get back to a stage whereby I can sit down and dedicate an hour or two to respond to all my social media comments. But right now, guys, I am going through the most. I really am going through the most, and please just pardon me on that. I have done a lot of talking and yet said very little, but I hope that you please do get that message. And if you have recently found the channel, please kindly consider subscribing for all things relatable, easy and affordable homemaking content. And I promise you, under normal circumstance, I do respond to comments. Right? In today's video, we will be doing an office tour. And can I just tell you guys, at some stage of the renovation, I had to think and decide that the office is just going to be one of those things that I sort of get to do, at least to precision or to perfection, at least in my view, as time goes by. Because I've had a number of disappointments in as far as the office was concerned. I had sort of done my planning and the aesthetic view based on a chair that I wanted designed, and the people whom I had contracted to do the office chair really was the same company that did the couch and that also did the headboard. And speaking about contractors or companies, I have noticed that some of you are sort of wanting to sort of persist to say, can you share this, can you share that, can you share this and that. And I think I've sort of explained in previous videos why I will not be sharing certain things or why I will be sharing certain things. But I thought maybe I could also just take this opportunity to say that sometimes I do not share because perhaps I was not completely happy with either the service, the product or something. And because I do not necessarily want to sort of, call out small businesses, black owned businesses and stuff like that, I'd rather than just not share their or market their brand or company or products, and sometimes really it's just about that without necessarily getting into the details. So please trust me, this is pretty much a very sharing community, and if you have followed this channel and my pages for the longest of times, it's a sharing community. I share almost everything that I think will be helpful. Not everything, almost everything is right, yeah. So yeah, for those who are insisting on asking me information that I said I was not willing or I'm not at liberty to share, please note that it is not always meant to hold back. Sometimes it is to protect you, because I feel like I have some sort of responsibility to say that if I put up information, if I recommend certain things, then at least I was or am happy about the service or the product, even though I may not necessarily be in a position to assure that you would get the same thing. So that said, right, decided that the office really will just be an afterthought. We'll work on it as time goes by. I think I still want to get to a point whereby I put up and decorate the initial design of the office as I imagined. But anyway, so the whole idea really was planned around a chair that I got designed. and at first instance discussed the brief of the chair with the manufacturer or the small business, and they got it right. But now when I went to check, because I prefer to check before I actually get stuff delivered, just so if there are corrections you can get that made, I noticed that there's one thing that was just in my face that they did not get right. But after a couple of conversations and thinking about it, I thought, you know what, I could do with that perhaps mistake, even though it would not be a mistake to the next person because it was still usable, but it just was not the design I wanted, and I wanted a specific design for specific reasons. Anyway, to say that I'll sort of turn a blind eye on that, and I tell them that they can continue with the rest of the work, and yeah, that was it. But when the chair was finally delivered, the quality was great, but obviously I was already sort of set off by some design elements that were not met. But over and above everything, the chair was simply not user-friendly for an office chair. One, they got the height wrong, because obviously chairs will or sort of must prescribe to the height of usability. For example, if it's a dining chair, it must prescribe to certain heights that go along with the standard table measurements, or if you've got custom made, it must be designed along that. So anyway, the contractor had come in to take the measurements, but they still got the measurement of that chair wrong, and so using it was a bit of a problem. Not, in fact, not a bit of a problem. It had health hazards, because it was slightly lower than the table or than the desk, and so when I worked, my arm could not rest properly, and my neck also would suffer like in less than an hour of working. That was one. Secondly, it was super heavy. It was super heavy that I could not carry it myself, so I always needed somebody to carry it. And obviously for an office chair, you need to be able to move around, to walk out to get water or do whatever, and that would not be or was not even possible. And I knew that I simply had to return it. I did return it. We had conversation, whatnot. But because my whole aesthetic was based on that, it meant that the whole idea had to fall off, and I had just to sort of scramble by to put up an office where I can work, because I still work at home. So surprisingly though, you guys, the office as it stands has received so many beautiful compliments from so many of you, and I thought it was really amazing how the initial idea did not come to fruition, but the ones that I've managed to sort of scramble through was still impressive to so many of you. And so I thought that was just a little interesting story. I don't know where that lisp comes from. So I thought that was just an interesting story that I wanted to share with you in this office. What are the interesting facts about the office? Oh, the office is not just actually an office. It is a multi-purpose room, and initially with the first house plan, it was in fact the second bedroom, but I changed it into a multi-purpose room and just had the primary bedroom, the guest bedroom, and this being the office slash multi-purpose room. Most of you would remember that on the first episode of Project Muofhe, I did say that the property is a 3-bed. So from the 3-bed, I converted this into a multi-purpose room. Multi-purpose in what sense? I wanted to create a space, one, which I'll be able to use for storage, like just storing as much and any and every single thing that I can think of, and as I stay in the property. Secondly, I wanted it to be like a second informal guest room in days and times whereby I have a number of people visiting, and maybe just the one primary guest room is not enough. That's second. And thirdly, I wanted to be an office because I work at home. I wanted to sort of separate the space between the lounging and the dining and the other rooms where I can just sit, concentrate, and be at work and get my work going with very minimal distraction. Number 4, I wanted it to be a studio where I can sit down and do talk videos like I am doing right now. So this is why it's called a multi-purpose room, and I hope that you're going to enjoy this little tour. Alrighty, now let's have a quick overview of the before. You guys would know by now that this passage looks completely different. Anyway, this is like an overview of the 3 rooms, and this is exactly the office, and this is the second biggest room, but I had to make it an office because of this view outside. I just knew immediately that I wanted to make a very serene view, that it simply had to be an office so that I can get to enjoy the space more. So this is the cupboard. It was facing the window, but I just knew from the very beginning that the layout of the room had to change in order to accommodate big enough cupboards for storage purposes. And yeah, I went ahead and demolished everything in order to create this. Right, I designed this cupboard to accommodate both an office and a storage room, and it is ample space to pack blankets, bags, books, and just absolutely anything and everything I can think of. And I got the same guy who did my kitchen to build the cupboard for me, and I am just absolutely in love because of the convenience and just the functionality. And as you can see, this portion of the cupboard doubles as a study desk or work desk with drawers. And while I figure out my office chair chronicles, I decided to buy this one from Facebook Marketplace for under 300 Rand, and I just spray painted the legs gold to match the theme of the room. And on the desk, the lamp is from At Home, the candle from Mr. Price Home, and the decor books from Take a Lot. The 2 side tables come as a set from Pep Home, the mirror tray, Mr. Price Home, and the glass and tumbler are from Woolworths. The cream cushion is from Mr. Price Home, while I made the dusty pink cushion covers. And I got this light from a local small hardware called Bargain Builder City in Centurion. The mirror is from my previous house. I've had to spray paint it gold, and I got the photo frame from a pawn shop which was brown, but I spray painted it gold to match the mirror. And I downloaded the artwork off the internet. Right, now let's talk about the couch. This is a sleeper couch which I got made from a local furniture shop, mattress and couch shop, which is in Centurion at Gateway Plaza. I must just say that I don't like the range of fabrics that they had, but I also don't really mind because I didn't really pay too much for this. I think I got it for less than 3,000 Rand. It may have been 2,000, something like that. The quality, however, is good. The off-floor couch came with silver legs, but to match this carpet, which I've had from my previous house, I asked them to make it with gold legs in order to match the side tables as well. Right now, as mentioned, it is a sleeper couch, and it's super easy to turn into a sleeper just by a simple click, and you have your single bed. And there you have it, a couch by day, sleeper by night for days when you've got additional people visiting. And this is how you can style it. So as you can see, I've decided to keep it very simple here, but just using the same accessories on the day couch for the night sleeper. And just like that, I've got additional space for an additional guest. And just like that, this is how I've put together my multi-purpose room. As you can tell, I have never been so frugal in my spending in as far as this room is concerned, yet it has managed to come together so beautifully, which just goes to show you don't really have to break the bank to create dreamy spaces. Let me know what your thoughts and comments are on the comment section below. Until next week, do keep safe.